All right, I believe we are live. All right, you guys, welcome to UFO Proof. I'm on here live with the man himself, Constantine from UFO Theater. What's up, Constantine? How you doing, buddy?
Kyle, the Sex Pistols of ufology. How you doing, my man?
Awesome, dude. I'm doing great. Now we were just discussing third phase of moon, and I asked you to hold off for a second because wanted the audience to be able to hear this. So can you recount this story this is about third phase of moon now. So can you recount that story?
Yeah, we were just talking about those guys, how they showed up on your show unexpectedly, and how by doing that they don't seem very bright. But
Correct.
and this is, I want to qualify, this is hearsay, all right? So nothing definite, but
Yeah.
I was in a documentary called Nocturnal Lights. It was a French-Canadian documentary by a lady named Frédérique Remy, and Charles Lamoureux was also in it. So she came here and interviewed me, and they flew all over doing research for this, and they had flown to Hawaii, where the Cousins brothers live. And she was on a flight, and she sat next to somebody and started up a conversation. And this person mentioned that the Cousins family owned like an entire town somewhere in Hawaii. So I think I mentioned in my last video, Hoaxers, Where Are You Going With This? That the Cousins brothers were basically bored rich kids who could basically do what they want. They can do their UFO videos, make a movie, and there's no risk to them personally. So that's just a little, might give you a little insight into the Cousins brothers, but that's hearsay, but based on their behavior, it seems kind of credible to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems rather credible to me that they would be. I mean, just their attitude towards stuff, their terrible acting, and
and it comes under the category. What's the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people are too dumb to know how dumb they are, or too incompetent to know how terrible they are. So it's they can't seem to break out of that.
Oh man, that's just so freaking funny. Well, I'm sure people are dying to know a little bit about you, Dean. So why don't you tell us, how did you get started in debunking?
I was working my regular job. I worked for a company called Flight 33 Productions, and that's on and off because that's the way it is in the visual effects world. They have a spate of shows, and then when the shows are done, they lay you off, and then when they have more shows, they hire you back. So there's downtime sometimes when you're working, and we work on a bunch of science-based shows for the History Channel and Discovery Channel.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff to work on. So I was bored one day and thought, hey, wonder what crazy shit I can look up on YouTube. So I looked for, I think I found some ghost videos, and then I found a UFO video, and I probably just typed in UFO, and you know what happens when you just type in UFO? All the hoaxers show up.
The first thing that shows up.
Yeah, it's probably Secure Team 10 or Third Phase of Moon. So I'm watching one of these videos. I'm going, this is fake as hell. And I looked through the comments, and people were buying it. I'm going, really? So I watched another one. And another one, and so many fake videos, and so bad fakes.
Yeah.
Such bad fakes. And I'm going, oh my God, really? And so in the back of my mind, whenever I have a regular job, I'm always looking for a side project.
Yeah.
And I thought, all these people who are putting these hoaxes up, they take themselves so seriously. And I hit on this in like my first episode, that they use all this very spooky music.
Yes.
And they make it look like this incredible, earth-shattering event. And I thought, it'd be so easy to make fun of these people. So I started on my concept, and I started writing it, and I, talked to my wife about it, and she kind of came up with the idea of the name of the show, UFOTheater, because
Great
really, name. So many people in ufology, you're just putting on a show. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I started on the first episode back in 2013, and I think it debuted in March 2014, and I basically started at zero. I had no audience, and I promoted it to a few friends, but and I'm sure starting from nothing, seeing it grow into something is really really fun.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a great experience, but I think it's real important when you're doing it for when you're helping something out, not just trashing it or whatever, but like what are your views personally on UFOs? Do you believe in them? Do you not believe in them? Because I know
absolutely I think we're being visited by extraterrestrials. There's government documentation for that. We saw just the CIA release recently, and we have a lot of research from Richard Dolan.
I love Richard Dolan.
And so that there's no denying it, really. And so I believe we're being visited, and in finding the fake UFO videos, I also found some really good stuff.
Yeah.
And
like what?
Well, in particular, lectures by Dr. Carla Turner. Are you familiar with her?
Yes. Did she die of cancer?
Yes, in 1994 she died of a mysteriously aggressive cancer. But before that happened, she realized that she herself was an abductee, and she interviewed other abductees and wrote books about it. And if you see the lady speak, she is so clear-headed and so so intelligent about the way she talks about what has happened to people and what has happened to herself. It was really impressive, and it really made me, anybody who could watch her speak and think this woman's crazy, I don't know what to tell you. Then everybody's crazy.
Yeah. So I agree. Like she's if you're looking into the UFO community or whatever, like one of the more credible people that you would take, and there's so many. I mean, she was a doctor, right? What was she?
She actually had a PhD in like history. English, but so the degree had nothing to do with her.
No, yeah, exactly. But she had she did have a PhD or something. She was a doctor or something, right?
Yeah. But and if I encourage everybody to go watch some of her lectures, because she has a lot of really interesting things to say, and a lot of it is pretty scary. I mean, I dove deep into the rabbit hole of the scary stuff too.
What'd you find?
Butch Witkowski. You familiar with him?
No, I'm not.
He talks about human mutilations. So
okay. I think I know who you're talking about. I don't remember the name, but I know of the phenomenon that they
he's a former cop, and he will.
Okay, yeah. I know him.
So he's talked about that. So that's the darkest part of the rabbit hole. And then I also saw stuff by sort of controversial, questionable people like Phil Schneider and Billy Meyer, and it's like I don't know what to make of some of that stuff.
Oh man, that's and I could tell. You know what? And I want to put this out right now. I've said it a million times, but this will probably be a popular episode, so I'll say it again so people get to hear. All right. Phil Schneider, in case you don't know this, Dean, he was never in the military. If he was, he would have known that there are certain laws and stuff that his story made it impossible for him to be telling the truth. Like when he said he had a gun on him as an engineer. Well, in the United States, no military can have the weapons except for the National Guard. So if you're in the Navy SEALs or whatever, if you're on American soil, you don't have a gun. And I've got plenty of military people come on and verify that that's the law. There was a big controversy about it back in 2014 or 2015 because recruiting centers were getting shot up, and they're like, why can't these recruiting centers have guns? Because it's against the law. So it's like right there, he didn't know that when he told that lie, So
it's just. But then when somebody dies mysteriously, it kind of bolsters their story.
And also the fact that he's talking about a story that is definitely probably true, as in deep underground military bases. I mean, come on, dude, they gotta have a bunch of them. But I'm just saying, not that he was fighting an alien down there. You know, his original story, to his wife, he claimed that he killed the aliens by pissing in a hard hat and throwing piss on them. I swear to God. I fucking swear to God. There's an interview with his wife saying that, dude. She's as crazy as he is.
So that's like alienation. That salt water is like acid to them.
Acid to him, man. Fucking sour milk gets them drunk, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I think's in those deep underground military bases?
What?
I think they're resorts.
Probably.
I think they got pools and private theaters and tennis courts.
You know that.
That's where all that money's going.
I heard Area 51 has a McDonald's.
Yeah, well,
that's what I heard. I'm just saying. If you're gonna have a military underground military base, why not have a fucking a Starbucks? You know,
if aliens wanted to take over the world, they'd start a fast food franchise. That makes sense.
That's awesome, man. So, now you obviously got a lot of fans, a lot of support and stuff. Do you have any haters? What are the haters like for you?
No, they're basically Tyler people or Tylet people. I like to call them now. It's one of his hardcore fans commented on a video and he spelled his name wrong. He spelled his name Tylet, and I said, "That's perfect. That sounds like just where his content should go."
Hashtag Tylet.
Tylet. But no, it's really people who have gone all in on, and it's almost nobody defends anybody else that I have debunked. It's only Tyler's people. And I mean, it kind of makes sense because, he's coming up on 750,000 people that he's lied to. And some of them are really hardcore. Not all of them. Some people have, get converted and realize that they're looking at bullshit. And other people are still believe in him, but are not insulting. I can't tell you how many times I've had homoerotic acts suggested to me by one of his followers, but they are definitely the most the most salty commenters on my videos. Yeah,
they're like, how dare you talk about security? Son of a bitch!
I have so many. I have a dozen episodes in my head. If I had time to do this full time, I would be cranking the stuff out. But one of them I'm going to call, I think, Nut Rage. And so it would be Tyler's followers. And then I don't know if you saw Secure Team 10, Tyler's rant about the I think it was the Turkey UFO flap that was a hoax.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he went on and just spewed venom because Scott Brando of UFO of Interest, who's really great debunker, he's on top of everything. I don't know how he has time, but he basically, with a couple of hours of internet research, found out it was a hoax. And that's not what Tyler does. He takes anything that's trending, and if he doesn't make it up himself, he takes anything that's trending and tries to make an episode out of it. And so Scott Brando, researched this, found out it was a few guys goofing from a Facebook group, and after Tyler had come out with an episode about it, and so he was quoted in one of the sort of second-rate tabloid online news sites called Inquisitor, saying that Tyler was was a hoaxer, and that he was promoting this because he's a fake. And that got Tyler so angry because Inquisitor is one of the publications that made him. Yeah. It is, and make no mistake, he puts out stuff that people like, but he would be nowhere without all this tabloid free publicity, and Inquisitor was one of these places. So I'm sure in his mind, hey, I've made you all this money with my hoaxes, and now you're calling me a fake. And so he got really
he was mad,
angry, and he called Scott Brando a hater, called him a disinfo agent, and because that's all he's got. He can call names. He doesn't have any factual arguments to work with, and so all his followers pick that up. They use the word hater, government shill, disinfo agent. They use all the same words.
It's so funny. I find it hilarious that there are two attacks that they got. You're fucking jealous or you're a shill for the government. That's it. That's all we ever are. Every time they go, they're like, oh, you're jealous. You say you're jealous. I'm like, yeah, you know, and it's funny because it's like every time they come and say that, it's like, they're like, oh, he's got more subscribers than you. It's like, yeah, I got more subscribers than you. Are you jealous of me? No.
If I'm going to be jealous of anything, it's going to be Captain Disillusion, you know?
Yeah,
that guy's awesome. You see,
yeah, Captain's great, dude.
Yeah, his last one about Section 51, the Section 51 hoax, where he did it was about the little portal over the Hadron Collider. It's an older one by Section 51.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know,
but he showed how it was made, and he also did a goof about a popular visual effects resource site called Video Copilot. But it was just brilliant.
Oh yeah,
so good. So if I'm going to be jealous of anybody, it's going to be him.
You know, exactly.
Not somebody who lies to everybody and makes up crap.
Yeah, that's his whole that you know with Security 10 or Third Phase are, you know what? It's even worse than them. As I really is the damn computer voices.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, oh fuck, they drive me crazy, Dean. I cannot. Every time I hear that voice comes on, dude, I want to kick my fucking computer. I just want to roundhouse my computer, man.
Paranormal Crucible.
Oh God, dude.
What was another one?
UFO Mania.
UFO Mania.
Heard?
Yeah,
dude,
they're on the blacklist. Yeah.
Dude, they had a story that came out and said 500 American soldiers were killed in Texas by UFO, and I'm like. It was just like some video of terminals blowing up, dude, and they're like, yeah, it's just a computer voice. And people actually came on my channel talking shit. They're like, how dare you talk shit about UFO Mania? I'm like, you believe that fucking shit? I'm like, how do you, there's some of the stuff is so ridiculous. You're just like, how do you even debunk it? You're just like, are you stupid?
Well, you know what, here's the thing. It is simply, whether people want to admit it or not, it is a very popular subject. And even if you're not like a sort of an out, if you haven't outed yourself as a UFO person, people are still interested. I was, I browsed the UFO group on Reddit a lot. And somebody made a post recently, and just from the thumbnail, I could tell it was just a missile launch. Like, and I understand most people have never seen a missile launch because those are things that happened on the coast. Mm-hmm. And I'm right down the coast from Vandenberg Air Force Base, where they launch a lot of them.
So cool, dude.
So yeah, but they're beautiful events to see, you know, at night because they're so high up in the atmosphere. They're lit up by the sun and, you know, the other side of the earth. And so I know right away a missile launch, but I guess people, you know, in the Midwest or in the middle of the country would never see one. Oh, yeah. So anyway, this guy posted this thing. It was obviously a missile launch, and I sort of followed to see, is this some hoaxer trying to play off a missile launch as a UFO? And it turned out it was a post by a video logger who is really popular and is just like a YouTube personality. Has nothing to do with UFOs. Mm-hmm. And he just has, I don't know, I didn't peruse much of his stuff, but it's mostly like lifestyle and what happened in today. But he's really popular. He had like 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. Okay, so he had this one quote unquote UFO post, and all these other videos. All the other videos had like 200,000, 500,000 views.
Ow.
Take a guess how many the UFO post had.
How many?
Just take a guess.
100,000.
10 million.
What, dude?
10 million. What? 10 million viewed a rocket launch because he said, hey, is this a UFO? So, and he's got 1 million subscribers. So there's a lot of people out there interested in ufology. That's why the UK tabloids lead with UFO stories, fake or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, Tyler and other hoaxers can make a living at it because there's so much interest, even if it's not obvious.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a name, and then after name you tell me crazy or not crazy.
Okay.
All right. Scott C. Waring.
Crazy, stupid, maybe.
Donald Trump.
Crazy and stupid. Yeah.
Tyler Glockner.
Not crazy. Just looking to make money.
I think he's pretty smart, dude.
Yeah.
I think
well, look,
he's smart for like, I'm going to deceive these people. Like, he knows what he's doing, you know?
He does a lot. Look, he does a lot of writing. He got himself some professional audio equipment, and he tells a story. So, you know, that's not something a dumb person can do.
Your last video, which by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, it is fantastic. Go and check it out. You asking the hoaxers, you know, where are we going from here? You know, what are you guys trying to accomplish? And in that video, I mean, you really nailed down exactly like what Tyler is doing, and what I mean, that video cracked me up so bad. That video was so funny, dude.
Oh, thanks.
And that you know what I really like about it, I just got to throw this out, man, is the hidden funny, the funny that's hidden off to the side. It's not actually brought to the forefront, you know, like when Tyler's laying in his bed, like dreaming about the lie that he's going to come up with. Off to the side, you can see copies of Adobe, you know, like Illustrator or Adobe Photoshop, whatever, and
the After Effects for Dummies, that type of thing.
Yeah, After Effects for Dummies.
You caught that. Like, you're very observant. Did you notice
reading the book where he's going to do the narration of like reading a live audiobook? It was actually one of Scott C. Waring's books that he was going to read, you know? Like
nothing gets by you, man. Did you notice the poster in Tyler's room?
No, I didn't. What was it?
It's a Justin Bieber concert poster.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
I like to put little stuff like that. And
that shit's so funny. I know, because it's like I kept picking up on that. At one point, wasn't Tyler wearing a members only jacket?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, he's like bald. He was bald headed, and I was like, dude, that was cracking me up so bad. That shit was so freaking funny, dude.
I do stuff, you know, to make myself laugh, and you know, hopefully it makes other people laugh too.
Sure as fuck made me laugh. I know it made my subscribers laugh. I mean, that video was awesome, man. I was super pissed when it came out. I was like, this is fucking gold. This is goddamn it. And I'm like, this is too good, dude. You know, this shit.
You do some great stuff, man. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, but my shit's a little crazy, you know. But I mean, really, your shit is always so good, and I'm always so impressed by it. Now, when you started doing your first videos, you like started out with debunking Third Phase of Moon, and then like Secure Team 10 and stuff like that. I read somewhere that at one point you were going to do a video about the balloon summoners. What do you say about those guys?
Oh, they're I can't decide if they're nuts or if they're
Robert Bingham, crazy or not.
What's that?
Robert Bingham, crazy or not? Fuck you, he's crazy.
Okay, I don't, because look, he might not be crazy. He might just have his accomplice down, you know, upwind, releasing balloons.
Oh God, that would be even worse, man.
But see, and that's why, you know, I live in LA near that guy Fausto Perez.
Yeah.
And by near, I mean, you know, within the same general Southern California area.
Yeah. I
wish I had time to go to one of his quote unquote events and bring a telescope and actually find out, you know, I would stake out that area well in advance and see where they release the balloons, so we can put it to bed once and for all. I just don't have that kind of time.
No, of course not.
Or a telescope.
I would say just get a drone and fly it up to one of them fucking balloons, man. But I tell you, even if you did that, even if you shot a balloon out of the sky, they would be like, oh my God, I've captured an alien. They're like that fucking crazy.
Aliens are made of mylar.
Exactly. That's what they think for some reason. Like, have you seen that guy, Jay Lee?
No, I haven't.
Okay, he's a huge guy with Fausto Perez and Robert Bingham. He's like their little lackey or whatever. Mm-hmm. He is unfucking believable. Like he goes on about how like he you know, if it looks like a duck and it acts like a duck, it's probably a duck. So it's like, and he's saying that like everything he's saying is the complete opposite. Like he's like everything he's saying about us or the people who are trying to debunk him. He's saying, "Oh, you guys are crazy. You guys see balloons and you think magical animals. These are atmospheric telepathic anomalies. You know, it's like, what the fuck? And I'm literally, it says happy birthday on it.
Those are, yeah. Those are the people who are crazy. They look at what is clearly a balloon and just can't believe it. They believe what Fausto tells them. And I don't get it.
That shit blows my mind that they, you
yeah.
know, any of that stuff. They're like, when I see some of his videos, some of my first videos were on the balloon summoners, and literally, like, he's got a balloon. Robert Bingham's got a balloon that says Ninja. It's like Ninja Turtles, and it has a number 3. Like, it was obviously for a 3-year-old's birthday party, but to him, this is a telepathic atmospheric anomaly.
You know what? If you can sell it, people will do it. If you can sell it and make money, people will do it. And once you get to a certain number of subscribers, like, you know, like Tyler, basically any video you make, no matter how terrible, is money in the bank.
Right. Exactly.
So, you know, you gather enough people, and, you know, you've got the balloon people, you've got the flat earth people, and the Nibiru people.
Oh God.
And yeah.
I just had a guy who was like his whole channel was all Nibiru, and he asked me if I could collab with him on something, and I was like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm like, you seem like a nice guy. I'm sure you're really nice, but I'm like, I can't be associated with any of that. I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's lens flares. It's not Nibiru. It's a lens flare, and it's, you know, and he actually converted, and he was like, I'm done with that shit. And hopefully he wants to come over to the good side, because he's like, no, for real, I like what you do, and I understand, I believe you. It's not Nibiru and stuff. So I was pretty impressed, because those Nibiru people are.
Thank God we've got people like you know, WTF Sky and Dazza the cameraman, who is like a real astronomer, keeping at those people. Because
exactly, dude, Dazza does great, man.
Because the fear porn also sells really well.
Oh yeah, exactly. Dude, Dazza's been hung up on. Well, he was hung up on flat earthers for a while, wasn't he?
He may have been.
He did a good job, like, debunking these flat earthers. Like, he had like people like on the other side of the earth, like, doing shit at the same time with him and stuff. Like, it was really good. He was doing a really good job at it.
Yeah, he was. But I mean, it's a lost cause. There's no
change.
There's no hope for some people. But I mean, those people, they turn out so much material. The Nibiru guy, you know, I forgot his name, Scott Cohn, something or other. They crank out so much material. They just overwhelm the internet with that stuff. And they're, at least, you know, we've got a few people stemming the tide, but man.
I mean, they're advancing quick. You know,
it's always it's always a lot easier to fake stuff than to research it. There will always be more fake material coming out than research fact-based material. So
exactly, because that takes time and intelligence. You know, when you're just making up bullshit, you know, it don't take any time at all. Off of the subject of UFOs for just 1 minute, I just want to just ask your opinion on this.
Okay.
Did Hillary Clinton fuck Bernie Sanders?
I think the DNC did, by going all in for Hillary. But here's the important thing. There was election fraud in the primary and in the general election. And if you go to an organization called trustvote.org,
I've been there.
All the statistics are there about how the exit polls did not match the final results, which is a big flag for election fraud. So what the trust vote people who've been at this since the 2000 election that was stolen, you know, with Florida, and then the 2004 election with Ohio, there has been vote suppression and election fraud going on, and it is being controlled by people who are sympathetic to the Republican Party. And that has a lot to do with how Hillary won the nomination.
Yeah.
And so I was talking a lot about this during the primaries, and, you know, people were laughing at me saying, oh, that's BS, and this proof is nothing, and you're just bitter. And I said, you know what, you better watch out, because it can go both ways.
Yeah.
You know, the election fraud that's working for you this round may not be working for you the next round. And look what happened. So we have, I think there are people who are in charge, who are hacking the voting process, who are determining our leaders right now. And until we solve that problem, until people are willing to admit that's happening, it's going to keep happening.
I agree with you 100%. And I think that we should kick this shit out of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I'm just saying that someone needs to headbutt her because I really think that they knew 100% what they were doing. And I think that like the situation we're in now is I want to give Trump his chance. And you know, because
how's that working so far?
Terrible. Unbelievably bad, you know. It's like every time I think like he's doing something good, something bad has. I'm just like, oh god, like he's just, you know, like making laws so you know, Christians have more power than other. I just saw that on Twitter, and just so much stuff. I'm like, oh
yeah. Say goodbye to the EPA. Say goodbye to the Clean Water Act.
Right.
Your bottle and your water and air will be bottled and sold by Monsanto and Nestle.
That's so fucking true, dude. I mean, like, I think it shows how it shows why they will never be able to come out and say, yes, we know aliens exist, because this proves how many crazy people are in the world, you know, like who or like, oh yeah, we believe Donald Trump. Yeah, like he's going to help us out. He don't care about us. He cares about himself, and they're like, he's against the globalist. He is a globalist, you know.
Yeah,
he is a corporatist.
If you want to know more about Donald Trump, look up a guy named David K. Johnston. He wrote a book a long time ago about Donald Trump, and he has 21 questions for Donald Trump that he was trying to get people to ask him in the media before he was quote unquote elected. So if you want to know more about Donald Trump, check out David K. Johnston.
David K.
21
Johnston.
Questions for Donald Trump. Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out now.
Or it might've been 10 questions. I can't remember, but yeah. So, all right, no more politics.
I was going to say, I was like, I'm sorry about the politics. I always got to throw that in there because people have different views, and I'm a progressive, and I know you're a progressive and stuff. So I just had to get that out there because I'm angry at the Democrats. So
okay.
I'm angry at my own.
Well, that's why I'm an independent now. So okay, so
me too.
Moving on.
Moving on.
How you got started in this?
What's up?
Tell me how you got started in debunking.
Me, I got started in debunking because I had UFO experience, a number of UFO experiences.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I never gave two shits about UFOs. Dean, I swear to God, man, I was way too busy doing other shit. I was just doing stand-up comedy, and I was on the road, and I was doing all kinds of other shit. UFOs was the last thing. Like, I'm just naturally skeptic about shit. You know, I'm just like, I don't trust it. And then it happened to me, and it blew my mind. And so it was seeing all the fake stuff. It's like I wanted to come out and tell people, but then people would say, "Oh, you're crazy. You're seeing this, you're seeing that, or whatever." And I'm like, you know, it's like, I'm like, why does everyone think like you're crazy? And then I start seeing all this stuff on YouTube, especially with Third Phase of Moon back then, that it was just, I'm like, it's because people put out bullshit that, you know, people like me aren't able to come and tell people. It makes us look crazy, you know?
And that's exactly why we do this. This is why we do, because here we have people have life-changing events like yours or Darren Crapo, and it changes people's lives when they experience that. And here are these other people taking advantage of that. It's like, you know, people who are, you know, selling $20 bottles of water when there's a natural disaster. They're profiteers, and it's disgusting, and it pisses me off. It
does. It really aggravates me. If you can't tell, I get very upset.
No, really?
Yeah, just a little.
You're so mellow.
Well, I get upset because I'm like, you know, oh my God, it happened to me. I saw it with my own. I could have touched it.
Tell me what you saw.
Okay, so it's a really interesting story. I actually have a video on it.
Okay.
Which, that actually shows
so
it out.
Point people
better.
to the video, and I'll go watch it too, because I missed it.
I had to re-upload it twice, so you can find it on my channel twice. Oh God, what did I name it the second time?
Watch it before it's deleted from the internet.
Yeah, for real. It's the UFO made my thoughts echo. Okay.
Okay.
So what happened is I had already had a UFO sighting, an incredible encounter. All right, and I was like seeing UFOs. I saw them a couple times, and by this time I'd already built a UFO hunting platform on my roof, and I had all my gear and lasers and stuff and telescopes and all that good shit with me. And while I'm sitting up on my roof, this is July 3rd. All right. So people are in the streets lighting off fireworks, and out of nothing, I mean, like fucking, I'm talking like through an invisible wall, a black sphere about 4 feet in diameter, a big fucking black ball just came out of nothing, and it was right above my head. And I'm sitting Indian style on this platform.
How far above your head?
About 8 feet. So if I stood up, I could have touched it. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it. I was so shocked at what I'd seen. I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? What just happened? And I was just not prepared. Even though I had all my stuff and I was like literally looking for UFOs, I was not prepared for this. And I had a laser with me. I don't know why, but I hit it with the laser. And when I did, and I mean, it's right above me, I could just reach up and touch it if I wanted to. I hit it with the laser, and inside my head, all my thoughts echo. They went like, bah, like all the things that you
like
think.
Feedback.
Yeah, like it was like, so just in your head, when you just have thoughts about like, you're like, oh, I'm sitting here, I'm doing an interview, blah, blah, blah. It just goes, each thought would echo like that. And I was like, and I turned off the laser. I'm like, holy shit. And then it just spun for a minute and then flew over the trees. Then I jumped off of my roof and back into the window. And I went and I told my brother-in-law and my sister. And my brother-in-law, he's in his boxers. He was like, I want to see. I'm like, well, it's floating away. I'm sure you might be able to see. He's like, fuck it. And we run outside. And as soon as we get out the front door, it was sitting in our front driveway. Just spinning. And my fucking brother-in-law said, go fuck. Like he fucking flipped the fuck out. He was like, holy fuck. And I was like, oh my.
This totally sounds like a horror movie. It's like, you know, you look out, you see the monster, and you're trying to, and then you go and then you open the window, and it's right there.
And it was right there. And my brother-in-law and my twin sister were there to witness this. And I started trying to walk towards it. And I felt like, I thought was like some kind of force holding me back. Like the UFO was putting off this force holding me back. And then I realized it was my brother-in-law behind me. He had my shirt and he was pulling me back. He's like, wait, don't. Like he was like afraid for me to go up to it. He's like, don't. I'm like, fucking
relax. That's
dude,
good advice, actually.
Yeah, probably. I was like,
well, I mean, really, what good could happen?
I was going to go with it, dude. We were going to go to fucking Jupiter.
No. You don't want to do that.
I'm trying to walk up to it. And as every step I took towards it, it started to move away. But when I stopped, it stopped. So it always stayed the same distance from me, you know? And then it got out into the street and I started kind of running towards it. And it just lifted up at like a 30-degree angle. It flew away. And our neighbors in the street were with their kids lighting off fireworks. They were oblivious to it until, you know, like the little girl was like, I heard her yell to her dad, like, is he in his boxers? And the dad was like, hey, Dan, what's going on? Dan's like, look, dude. And he's like, holy shit, dude. Like, then he saw it. Like, it was. So
your brother-in-law is like all in too, right?
Yeah, no, my sister and my twin sister. I mean, like, you know, because she came outside and saw it too. Like, she was like, okay. Holy fuck, dude. So like, you know, like my whole family were like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I mean, it was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen. You know, at that point, I had seen some other crazy shit too, but at that point, I'd never seen anything. So, I mean, unimaginable. Like it came out of fucking Dean. It came out of nothing, man. I swear to God on my family's good name. Okay, dude, on the blood of my ancestors. Every word I'm telling you is true. It happened to me. But
you got witnesses. You got corroboration. So
exactly. That makes me feel good. Yeah. You know, but like if you like. After something like that happens, you just assume that, well, that's it. That means the whole world is going to know from now on that we're not alone. But that's not how it works because everyone thinks you're crazy because of fucking hoaxers and bullshit and stuff. So it's like, it makes it difficult for you. So you're like, you just get
I really want to, you know, I've been wanting to do an episode of The Good Stuff for a while. I just, you know, it's so hard to come out with an episode just as it is, with all my work and family obligations. But I want to, show off like Darren's show again, and Charles Lamoureux and Seeing UFOs PA, Allison Cruz, and all that stuff. I want, because I keep having to repeat all these channels for people who ask, well, where is the real stuff?
Yeah,
so, yeah. So that's the stuff, Las Vegas Bronco, Steve Barone, who founded the Facebook group UFOs in the USA. He's going to be, I don't know if I should give any details, but he's going to be featured on a network TV show coming up, I think sometime in the spring.
Oh, really?
So I can't say any more about it, but yeah. He's becoming that's one of the good guys that's becoming a big deal, because I mean, he tapes stuff all the time, and it is possible that he misidentifies stuff sometimes, but when he realizes that's happened, he has taken videos down that he realizes he misidentified. So that's a rare person of integrity.
Yeah, that's a huge difference between someone who hoaxes and someone who misidentifies. And unless they're doing it on purpose, like Secure Team 10 does,
Yeah, or Street Cap 1. That's all. Yeah. That's all he does. He just misrepresents stuff that happens, and he doesn't have to do any visual effects, nothing. All I should do is call something something that it isn't.
So you want to take some questions?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The audience, let's see what we got.
And criticism, if anybody wants to debate about anything that I've done, or tell me I'm wrong, I want that too.
You guys hear that? All right. So he's ready to fucking bring it on, bitches. All right.
I don't know if I would state it that way, but
that's exactly what you said. You just said that right there. Okay. Just admit it. All right. Let's see here. So anyone who has a question for Dean, feel free to ask it right now. I can see all your comments. Alien Addict, what's up, buddy? Okay, Paul Diamond, I see ya. James Pierce. Okay, ask if he has ever had an encounter. Have you ever had an encounter?
I live, just for reference, I live in the high desert of Southern California. And I happen to be right in between the Skunk Works and Edwards Air Force Base. So we see, a lot of military planes, a lot of sonic booms, but you would think, and also being near Mojave, it's a prime place for viewing. I just don't have time. But when I was working last, I think it was 2015, I would come home, drive home into the Antelope Valley, it's called, and you come down these mountains and come down into this big sprawling valley. And for a week or so, there would be this blue-green light hanging in the same spot in the sky. And it was really bright. It was brighter than a plane. It was blue-green, which is not the light colors of normal planes. And it would happen just as I was making this descent into the valley. And I kept wanting to keep driving and get to it but before I could get too close to it, it would just wink out, just disappear. And so now that's something, if I could even get it on tape, I wouldn't even bother showing it to anybody, because we've all seen enough video of a light in the sky that you don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
But that's as close as I've come. I just had an interest since I was a teenager in paranormal stuff.
Wow, dude, that's awesome. That's a cool sighting too, man. Especially, a blue-green. Yeah, I can't even think of anything in the sky that would have those colors.
Yeah, I actually tried. I brought a pair of binoculars and tried to put them up to the lens of my phone to try and get a shot.
Yeah,
it looked like crap.
That's kind of difficult.
That's all I've got. I don't have a telescope or anything.
Don't worry, telescopes suck. I always tell people, don't use a telescope. They're all refractory, so it's backwards, and it's so hard to track anything. It's binoculars are a sighting scope. That's definitely the way to go. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. there's a ton of stuff on there. Oh, it's just everyone's just on here talking to himself.
They're just talking amongst themselves.
Talking to each other. Yeah, they're all just on there talking to each other. Feel free to ask a question, you guys. I might have to reload my reload the
chat
messages or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me try that again, because I'm sure it's popped up by now. Let's see here. Yeah, it's always like a minute or two behind. So here we go. Let's see. Oh wait, hang on. Okay. I have a question. If you could have the truth on aliens, but the only way is to leave with them so you cannot tell anyone, would you do it? This comes from Mr. Me.
No, this you know what? This comes from my experience with Butch Witkowski. If you watch any of his lectures, he talks about human mutilation. There's nothing good that can come from me going with aliens. And I have a family that I love. Planet Earth is just fine for me. Thanks.
Okay.
You know,
well, hey, there you go, man.
And if anything happened to me, like happened to you, I would run. I would not hang around to look and see what that little orb is up to.
What? No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
you would. Yeah, you might
maybe
run towards it.
Long enough to take a picture, then I'd run.
Okay. Well, then I'll give that to you. What do you think on Kyle's encounter? Oh, thank you, Austains.
No, I think it's amazing, you know.
I think he's full of shit, really.
To have like members of your family there to see it with you, and so you know you're not crazy, you're not hallucinating. It's like the best possible situation for an encounter like that. So
hey man, I feel the same way now. If I could have just got it on tape, I would have been more than happy. But even then, I think it wouldn't have done us any good. I don't think videotape will ever do us any good. Like, you know, if we don't use the scientific method, then nothing will ever come from it. So putting all the best UFO videos, that's never going to solve it. It's going to be a prediction. When you're able to predict where one will be, you know, and use the scientific method, then you know, people will take it seriously. Let's see, from Rhonda Raiden. Hey, what's up? Oh wait, oh, she's talking to somebody else. It's like,
stop talking to each other, people.
Yeah, stop talking to each other, dude. Ask us questions. Okay. Here's a question from Ninja Sticks. What planet is Caitlyn Jenner from? Please answer. That's mean, dude.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm like, that's mean, dude. Come on, jeez, man. Let's see here. What classic videos have you seen that? Hang on. What classic videos have you seen that show true UFOs are real? So any classic videos. Yeah, that show like real UFOs.
I don't know how you would define classic.
Legitimate, I would say any legitimate one that you think is like a legitimate UFO video that's really good.
I think the sort of the original Turkey UFO video, the one that was caught on like a camcorder, it was like off the coast.
I debunked that, dude.
You did?
It was so heartbreaking. You don't understand. I remember doing it and I was like, oh God, it was breaking my heart because I had been backing that one up forever, dude.
So what did you find?
I traced where the exact sighting was and where he was, his line of sight, and like following exactly what they said and everything. And is it
a cruise ship?
No, that's what everyone was saying. Okay. I was like, it has to be higher than a cruise ship, but it's not going to be, it's not too high. And after I traced it using Google Earth, and I was like looking at one of the videos, you know, the video starts off with the red lights, you know, and then he zooms in and you see the craft or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. I was like, I had a feeling that they were windmills, and I zoomed in and he is looking at a windmill farm, and the craft, what you think is a craft, is the top of the windmill farm hill. It's the top of a hill. And I mean, when you see it, it matches perfectly the video, the red lights on the windmills and everything, and the lighting, and it totally matches. And I'm like, it was heartbreaking for me. But yeah, I looked in because I had been going off on that video for ever, and saying, I'm like, that's a go-to video. And then I was watching it again, and I saw the windmills, and I was like, I had a feeling, I'm like, or I saw the red lights, and I'm like, it just reminds me of, because I live in Washington, where there's all kinds of windmills all over the place, and I was like,
we've got a whole farm here too in this valley.
Yeah, so like I was like, it just reminded me of that. And then when I went and I investigated it, I could see that there is a huge windmill farm exactly where he was looking, and he's on his camera. He had an electronic doubler on it, so he could see you twice as far as his camera could already see. And I'm like, so he's looking over the Sea of Marmara, and he's looking to the land past the whole sea. So it looks like it's out in the sky, but it's not, man. It's on the hill. It's on top of the hill. I was like, man, that was depressing. But I got one for you. What about the Puerto Rican UFO from Homeland Security?
I have not had time to look at that one, but I think Scott Brando, UFO of Interest, covered that one.
No, that's the Chilean one.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, the one that it looks like it's going in a circle, and then there's two objects, and it's like and somebody's calling off numbers, and it's in black and white. It looks like infrared, maybe.
Yeah, there's, and it splits into two objects. Yes,
and one of them goes into the ocean.
Water.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, I think.
What do you think?
I think that's probably would be my best go-to now, since Kyle destroyed my other one.
Someone just said, they said Constantine, please debunk Kyle's debunking. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. What do you want? The evidence was there. Okay, it was there. Anyway, go ahead.
So there's that, and if I had an opportunity to look at some of Billy Meyer's stuff in person, I might believe it, but I'm just kind of undecided on that, because he's able to, if he was hoaxing it, he was using techniques far beyond their abilities back then. But maybe he was an innovator. I don't know. But the Billy Meyer stuff is interesting and clear, but you never get, it's always objects. And supposedly he met them in person and somehow never got a photograph of them, no image at all. So how does that work? And that's kind of one of my problems with, when I first started, and you'll see in my first episode, I thought Stephen Greer had a handle on something, but since then, I mean, he's supposedly got this project where he wants to meet ETs one-on-one, and yet he has not one piece of conclusive visual evidence to prove that was happening. And of all people, if he's meeting them one-on-one, he should have that. Why doesn't he have that yet? Please help us believe you, Steve.
I mean, the thing is that something's up with the guy. When he did a disclosure project, he had half the witnesses on there were really credible, and the other half were charlatans and frauds like Clifford Stone. And these guys are so full of crap. They literally just make up the most ridiculous fucking lies. So it's like, I don't know why he would do that, and it's like you discredit yourself.
One guy said the aliens took him back in time to see his son who had died, and but I mean that's the problem with all of this, is there's a lot of, you have to basically pick and choose who you're going to believe, and sometimes they will be lumped together. And so it's like, I choose to believe Carla Turner. And I choose to believe Bob Lazar.
I believe Bob Lazar too. He's, but I don't believe Dan Burish or Phil Schneider, but I believe Bob Lazar. I think they just kind of like stole his shit.
What about Lear? John Lear, was it?
Oh man, I think he has lost his fucking mind. Okay, he has went off the deep end, and like there's no coming back for him. He's gone. He's straight up. I got a video with him sitting there saying, he's like, oh yeah, we've gone to Mars, and we don't need spacesuits. There's an atmosphere up there. He was seriously saying this. I'm like,
well, forget about that. How about the moon? He says there's a giant antenna on the moon that collects people's souls when they die. It's like, and up to that point, I was kind of in, him describing other stuff that was going on. And,
Yeah.
And then he said that it was like,
really, dude?
Really? Wah, wah.
I think it hurts Bob Lazar that John Lear has went off the deep end like that, because he was a part of.
He was vouching for him, yeah.
He was vouching for him, and then you go and you sound all crazy and shit, dude. It's like, oh, God, at least Bob Lazar has always sounded smart and cool, and always had the same story,
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's look at another question here.
If you're done talking to each other, it's like, what are you doing talking to each other on social media? What's that about?
Who does that? My God, people. Let's see. What about Stanton Friedman? This comes from Robo Ted. What do you think of Stanton Friedman?
Well, that's a dive I've not taken much of yet. I've not reviewed much of his stuff. So
I like Stanton Friedman. He doesn't believe Bob Lazar. I don't believe MJ12 documents are authentic. So I mean, there's a little give and take there. But I think he's a good guy in the UFO community, and I think he's he tries to do a good job. But yeah, you should look into him, because he's got some really good books and stuff on UFOs and like the science of UFOs and stuff. Let's see here. Question. This comes from Bob Anomaly.
Bob Anomaly. That's one of my favorite handles, by the way. Bob Anomaly.
Bob Anomaly. Do you think humanity would survive if we were suddenly gifted with telepathy? I don't think we could handle it.
No. Can you imagine everybody knowing what you're thinking?
God, dude, it would be troll paradise, dude. It would be fucking awesome. I would be fucking with everybody. You don't want to give people powers like that, man.
But actually, I mean, if you had telepathy, you would think you would be able to block
telepathy
too.
Basically, if we had telepathy, it would be like not having telepathy.
It would negate itself.
It would negate itself.
You could talk to your cat though, so that would be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool. Oh shit! Let's see here. You have proof did of the cousin. The video UFO proof did about the cousins brothers with the microphone cords hanging out of the pockets and shit was hilarious. That's not a question. That's just a statement. You fuck.
Okay.
Thank you. Split your wig.
Well, they can compliment you.
Yeah, I mean, let's ask some questions, people.
Well, look, if they don't have any questions, we should just sign off.
Yeah, there's a ton of people on here.
We're probably just interrupting their conversations with each other. With our stupid little video chat.
Yeah, I know we're disturbing you guys. So sorry about that. Everyone's saying thank you. They love you for your videos, and you're doing a great job and keeping.
Thank you. I crank them out really as fast as I can, but I have so much going on. With
you take forever, and I always have to tell everybody, I'm like, he's working, he's got shit to do, he's got a life. Okay, I mean, come on, people. But man, you take so long to put out video. You drive your subscribers crazy, dude. It's kind of good though. It keeps them wanting it bad.
But it drives me crazy too, because I have like 12 episodes in my head, and I told you about a few of them. I want to do one about the good. The good channels. I want to do one about Nut Rage.
Yeah.
I want to do one about the advertisers that make the proliferation of hoaxers possible.
That's a good one, dude.
I call it badvertising. I wanted to do, and the next one is going to be about Section 51. I've got one, written about Scott Waring. So it's like, it's just no time,
I mean, you put so much work into your videos. I mean, how long does it take you to make a video?
Probably, it depends. Anywhere between, 40 to 80 hours of work.
Wow.
Because I want to be able to think stuff up and just do it. And, my wife keeps telling me, make them shorter, don't make them so elaborate. And she's right. I need to pare it back and not do so much, crazy stuff with, aging Tyler and, making a set for his bedroom. And
no, I think that's perfect. And I mean, like it probably is a lot of work, but which could really suck. But I think that's I think that's what makes your channel so awesome and unique, is that you do put in a lot of. I actually commented on that in a video making fun of the third phase of Moon, that you were professional, like when you make your videos, I mean, I like it. I don't want to see you scale back at all. I mean, how could, what I want to see? I want to see you in the video more.
You know what? I did that at the beginning, like my first
two
episodes.
What happened?
Well, it was a borrowed camera. And I had to go through so much. I don't have a place to shoot, and I don't have a camera. And it's like the camera I did borrow, it had like these tiny P2 cards on it that could only record for like 13 minutes at a time. So it's like I would have to shoot for a little bit and hope I didn't screw up too much, and then offload it and then load it again.
I see. Yeah.
And it's like you have to set a day to shoot and get it done. And if I'm just animating stuff, I could just, pick it up and put it down as I want. And, as a host, it's not something I even wanted to do. I would have hired one of my actor friends if I had the money to do it. Somebody with a better voice and somebody with a better, on-camera presence. But
I think you have a great on-camera presence.
Well, thank you. But, but I'm not going to be another guy trying to exploit my actor friends, for free work.
Yeah.
So now, ended up with me.
What if everybody who supports UFO Theater came and donated to your channel to help you get a camera? Would you be on camera more?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So you hear that, you guys?
And in fact, if people, supporters of Secure Team 10 want to do that too, I would welcome that also.
Yes, I agree. Okay. So you guys could go to his channel and, would you have a PayPal, or do you do it through Patreon?
If you go to UFOTheater.com, there is a donation button on the sidebar there. I think you probably got the notice too that YouTube is discontinuing their support this channel thing.
They're
I don't know.
Doing a new super chat thing, so like right now we could be people could pay to have their comments put on screen, and whoever pays the most gets the biggest comment section where everyone gets to see it,
Okay, I would love to have been in the meeting where that came up.
I don't know who thought of that.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea.
If I could figure it out.
I thought, honestly, I thought it was like a webcam thing where you pay money to be in the in
the video,
in the secret chat or whatever. I don't know.
That's that would probably make a lot more sense, man, than just posting your comment. Because it fucks for people like me, because I normally, when I do a live broadcast, everyone's comments I put on the screen already, so everyone can always see their comments on screen on the So it's like, that doesn't do me any good. No one's going to pay for that. I already put everyone's shit up there, But
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if you want to donate, and people have donated, and I want to say thank you to all the people that have. Some guy donated recently and made it possible for me to get an actual microphone, which I haven't had. And as a matter of fact, up until the last episode, all my voiceover was done on this little webcam right here.
Really?
And yes. And it's terrible because I'd have to do the voiceover over and over again, like 4 or 5 times, because unless you are the exact correct distance and angle on the webcam, it distorts and you hear all the pops and so it's distracting enough already without that going on. But yeah, so now I have a real microphone. It'd be nice to have a real camera.
Yeah, and the mic sounds good too. Yeah, definitely. So you guys go and donate and help him get a camera so we can have him on the video, because I think you do a great job on camera. I think you have a great personality. You're funny, and I mean, you really do it all around, man. You really do it all around, like with writing it and acting in it and animating it and narrating, and I mean you're a little jack of all trades.
Well, I wish I had your spontaneity, sir. That would, I could put out a lot more stuff if I could, go off the cuff as well as you do.
Oh, well, yeah, you know, I mean, you know, I was a professional comedian for years, so people always ask, like, oh, you know, you're funny. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, they paid me to be funny, you know, like it's like some people just, you know, could just do it, but it's like the video production quality, man. I mean, you got that shit hands down, you know, but and your writing, I think is awesome. It's incredibly
Thank you.
funny. Now you had done some other videos, and I want to point something out, okay? Because someone tried to make fun of Constantine for this, and I just was I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So someone came onto my channel talking shit about Constantine and says, "Do you know that Constantine? He was a smut peddler. He worked on a porno."
So it sounds like I'm on the corner selling, you know, Playboy magazines
yeah,
or something.
I was like, what, dude? I was like, dude, I didn't know that, and I was like, dude, I thought he was cool before. He's the fucking man now. I'm like, are you serious, dude? I was like, gee, how are you gonna? It's like you're gonna. Oh, no, God forbid he got to fucking see titties. Oh my God, no, dude. I was like, that blew my mind. I was like, how do you make fun of someone for that? I'm like, that's like a cool thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people, you know, somebody tried to porn shame me, but that's where I started. I had this job at the beginning of the internet, working for an adult website, and this was before you could even put video on the internet. And then when it became possible, and it was run by this fantastic lady named Danny Ash, and best boss I've ever had. But it was this website, and it was all girls, and it was the best job in the world because I was the audience for what we were producing, so I could basically think something up and do it, and everybody loved it. And that's what's great about doing UFO theater is I just think stuff up and do it. And you know, my wife has some input because she's really smart, and she shows me where I can tighten things up, but I just think stuff up and do it, and it works, and people seem to enjoy it. So that was the same kind of job, but you know, it had to end. It was not the end all and be all of what I wanted to do. And Danny Ash retired, and I really didn't want to work with anybody but her. And so that was it. But somebody tried to shame me for that. They saw that on my Internet Movie Database page.
Yeah. I would think that if it was a shame, that you probably wouldn't have put it up there to begin with, you know? So it's like, I'm like, it blows my mind, dude.
You could shame me if I was bad at it, but I was very good at it. And we actually started a trend in that industry of making parodies, because her whole thing was it should be fun, you know, and everybody else was doing this dark, nasty stuff. And so we came up with parodies of stuff. We got almost sued by Lucasfilm for doing a parody of Star Wars.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it just happened that around the same time, somebody else had done a parody who had more money, and they won, you know, a lawsuit. You know, they were not sued because it was considered, you know,
fair use.
Yeah, parody is covered. And then, like, we did, a lot of people don't know this, we did the very first Blair Witch parody. I mean, there were a ton of them when that movie first came out. We were the first ones to do one because we were running gun. We did it, you know, we put it up online. And
is that still out? Is that something people can go and see?
No, the site, it was bought out by Penthouse. So it's a much, it was a much bigger, but it's, you know, you have to pay for it to find it, but it was like called the Bare Tits Project or something.
Yes, dude, that's awesome.
But we started a trend of comedic parodies in the adult business. So, and it's a regular thing now. There's a company called Wooden Rocket now, and that's all they do. And but we had people, you know, using the same actresses, using the same movies that we had parodied. So we were innovators.
That's fucking awesome, dude. That's super cool, man. So let's see here. I'm sure you got plenty of stuff to do, and I don't want to keep you forever, but man,
yeah, my family's banging on the door.
You're like, let me in. He's like, he's taking up the bathroom right now, you know. So, dude, thank you so much for joining us and coming and talking to everybody. So, where can everyone go, and if they want to come and donate to you, and they want to see your videos, and what social media are you on? Why you let everyone know?
I'm on Facebook at UFO Theater, UFOTheater.com, and you know, channel UFO Theater. But you know, come and comment, make a criticism. I love interacting with people, even the people who hate me. I love talking to them on the video pages. So, and you will, I must check my Gmail like 100 times a day. So if somebody comments, I will usually respond within like, you know, 10 minutes. So I love the interaction. So, you know, the more the better.
You guys go and check out his videos. Go comment, say what's up, man. You know, I mean, you got a Twitter, right?
Yeah, it's UFO Theater also at
Twitter.
UFO Theater.
And the UFO Blacklist, which is
Yes.
I have a link to that. I think that thing is epic, and it's a real important part of the UFO community. You're getting blown up. Look how popular you are, Mr. Hollywood.
Well, right. You know, I wish I could put out more stuff, but
well, hopefully we can get you a camera and get you putting out some more videos, man, and having your face in them, because I think you do a great job, and everyone loves you. And I just thank you so much for coming and doing this interview with us today. And I'm just real glad that you can join us and finally get to, you know, let people know the real Constantine. You know?
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, thanks, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
And you know, anybody who's watching this on my channel, subscribe to Kyle's channel, UFO Proof. He will bring it every week.
Every week, okay. All right, you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Dean. I'll talk to you later. All right, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Okay. No, well, UFO Proof out.
And I'm going, oh my God, really? And so in the back of my mind, you know, whenever I have a regular job, I'm always looking for a side project.
Yeah.
And I thought, all these people who are putting these hoaxes up, they take themselves so seriously. And I hit on this in like my first episode, that they use all this very spooky music.
Yes.
And they make it look like this incredible, you know, earth-shattering event. And I thought, well, it'd be so easy to make fun of these people. So I started on my concept, and I started writing it, and I, you know, talked to my wife about it, and she kind of came up with the idea of the name of the show, UFO Theater, because
Great
really,
name.
You know, so many people in ufology, you're just putting on a show. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I started on the first episode back in 2013, and I think it debuted in March 2014. And I basically started at zero. I had no audience, and you know, I promoted it to a few friends. But and I'm sure you know, starting from nothing, seeing it grow into something is really really fun.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a great experience, you know. But I think it's real important when you know, you're doing it for you know, when you're helping something out, not just trashing it or whatever. But like, what are your views personally on UFOs? Do you believe in them? Do you not believe in them? Because I know
absolutely yeah, I think we're being visited by extraterrestrials. There's, you know, government documentation for that. We saw just the CIA release recently, and we have a lot of research from Richard Dolan.
I love Richard Dolan.
And yeah, so that there's no denying it, really. And so yeah, I believe we're being visited. And
all right, I believe we are live. All right, you guys, welcome to UFO Proof. I'm on here live with the man himself, Constantine from UFO Theater. What's up, Constantine? How you doing, buddy?
Kyle, the Sex Pistols of ufology. How you doing, my man?
Awesome, dude. I'm doing great. Now, we were just discussing third phase of moon, and I asked you to hold off for a second because I wanted the audience to be able to hear this. So can you recount this story this is about third phase of moon now. So can you recount that story?
Yeah. We were just talking about those guys, how they showed up on your show unexpectedly, and how by doing that, they don't seem very bright. But
Correct.
and this is, I want to qualify, this is hearsay. All right, so nothing definite. But
Yeah.
I was in a documentary called Nocturnal Lights. It was a French Canadian documentary by a lady named Frédéric Remy, and Charles Lamoureux was also in it.
Oh,
so she
Charles.
she came here and interviewed me, and they flew all out over doing research for this, and they had flown to Hawaii, where the Cousins brothers live. And she was on a flight, and she sat next to somebody and started up a conversation, and this person mentioned that the Cousins family owned like an entire town somewhere in Hawaii. So I think I mentioned in my last video, Hoaxers, Where Are You Going With This, that the Cousins brothers were basically bored rich kids who could basically do what they want. They can do their UFO videos, make a movie, and there's no risk to them personally. So that's just a little, might give you a little insight into in finding the fake UFO videos. I also found some really good stuff.
Yeah.
And
like what?
Well, in particular, lectures by Dr. Carla Turner. Are you familiar with her?
Yes. Did she die of cancer?
Yes, in 1994 she died of a mysteriously aggressive cancer. But before that happened, she realized that she herself was an abductee, and she interviewed other abductees and wrote books about it. And if you see the lady speak, she is so clear-headed and so intelligent about the way she talks about what has happened to people and what has happened to herself. It was really impressive, and it really made me, anybody who could watch her speak and think this woman's crazy, I don't know what to tell you. Then everybody's crazy.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree. Like she's if you're looking into the UFO community or whatever, like one of the more credible people that you would take, and there's so many. I mean, she was a doctor, right? What was she?
She actually had a PhD in like history. History,
okay.
English, but so the degree had nothing to do with her.
No, yeah, exactly. But she had she did have a PhD or something. She was a doctor or something, right?
Yeah. But yeah, and if I encourage everybody to go watch some of her lectures, because she has a lot of really interesting things to say, and a lot of it is pretty scary. I mean, I dove deep into the rabbit hole of the scary stuff too.
What'd you find?
Butch Witkowski. You familiar with him?
No, I'm not.
He talks about human mutilations. So
okay. I think I know who you're talking about. I don't remember the name, but I know of the phenomenon that they
yeah, he's former cop, and he will.
Okay, yeah. I know him.
So he's talked about that. So that's the darkest part of the rabbit hole. And then I also saw stuff by sort of controversial, questionable people like Phil Schneider and Billy Meyer, and it's like I don't know what to make of some of that stuff.
Oh man, that's and I could tell. You know what? And I want to put this out right now. I've said it a million times, but this will probably be a popular episode, so I'll say it again so people get to hear. All right. Phil Schneider, in case you don't know this, Dean, he was never in the military. If he was, he would have known that there are certain laws and stuff that his story made it impossible for him to be telling the truth. Like when he said he had a gun on him as an engineer. Well, in the United States, no military can have weapons except for the National Guard. So if you're in the Navy SEALs or whatever, if you're on American soil, you don't have a gun. And I've got plenty of military people come on and verify that for us. That's law. There was a big controversy about it back in 2014 or 2015 because recruiting centers were getting shot up, and they're like, "Why can't these recruiting centers have guns? Because it's against the law." So it's like right there, he didn't know that when he told that lie, So he's
it's just. But then when somebody dies mysteriously, it kind of bolsters their story.
And also the fact that he's talking about a story that is definitely probably true, as in deep underground military bases. I mean, come on, dude, they gotta have a bunch of them. But I'm just saying, not that he was fighting an alien down there. You know, his original story,
cousins, brothers, but that's again, that's hearsay. But based on their behavior, it seems kind of credible to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems rather credible to me that they would be. I mean, just their attitude towards stuff, their terrible acting, and I mean,
yeah, well, and it comes under the category. What's the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people are too dumb to know how dumb they are, or too incompetent to know how terrible they are. So it's you know, they can't seem to break out of that.
Oh man, that's just so freaking funny. Well, I'm sure people are dying to know a little bit about you, Dean. So why don't you tell us, how did you get started in debunking?
I was working my regular job. I worked for a company called Flight 33 Productions, and that's on and off because that's the way it is in the visual effects world. You know, they have a spate of shows, and then when the shows are done, they lay you off, and then when they have more shows, they hire you back. So there's downtime sometimes when you're working, and we work on a bunch of science-based shows for the History Channel and Discovery Channel.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's cool. Pretty cool stuff to work on. So I was bored one day and thought, hey, wonder what crazy shit I can look up on YouTube. So I looked for, I think I found some ghost videos, and then I found some UFO video. And I probably just typed in UFO, and you know what happens when you just type in UFO? All the hoaxers show up.
The first thing that shows up.
Yeah, it's probably, you know, Secure Team 10 or Third Phase of Moon. So I'm watching one of these videos, I'm going, this is fake as hell. And I looked through the comments, and people were buying it. I'm going, really? So I watched another one. And another one, and so many fake videos, and so bad fakes.
Yeah.
Such bad fakes.